Consider the following statements with respect to the Supreme Court of India. The Supreme Court of India was inaugurated with the commencement of the Constitution. After independence, Supreme Court replaced by the British Privy Council as the highest court of appeal. The correct answer is option B, one only. With reference to the role played by the President of India in the Parliament, consider the following statements. Option is 2. He lays down the report to the Comptroller and Auditor General before the Parliament. He may nominate two members of Lok Sabha having special knowledge. It is false. Consider the following statement regarding International Health Regulations 2005. The correct option is option C, both 1 and 2. It is a framework to build the capability to detect and report potential public health emergencies worldwide. It is legally binding on all WHO member states. With reference to the Council of States of Ministers, consider the following statements. The correct option is option B, 2 only. The advice tendered by the Council of Ministers to the Governor shall not be inquired into any court. The Constitution does not specify the maximum stage. It is false. Which of the following countries are bordering Lake Victoria? The correct option is option C, 1, 3 and 4. Tanzania, Rwanda and Kenya. In the context of Indian Constitution, which of the following contains provision related to local self-government in India? The correct option is option A, 1, 4 and 5. Part 9, Part 4 and Article 280. Consider the following statements with reference to none of the above. Nota. The correct option is option B, 2 only. Even if the nota votes are more than the number of votes polled by any of the candidate who secures the largest number of votes has the highest has to be declared elected. The votes polled against the nota options are counted in total valid voters polled by the contesting candidates for the purpose of return of security. It is false. Which of the following has been explicitly mentioned in the Constitution as a ground for disqualification for being elected as a member of Parliament? The correct option is option B, 1 and 2. Holds any office or profit under the union or state government, undischarged, insolvent, published for preaching, practicing social crimes such as it is false. Which one of the following statements is are correct with reference to the Speaker of the State Legislative Assembly? The correct option is option B, 2 and 3. He can be removed by a resolution passed by a majority of all then members of the Assembly. He resigns by writing to the Deputy Speaker. The Speaker once elected resigns from his own party. It is false. Who among the following can enjoy the privileges of the state legislature? The correct option is option C, 2 and 3. Advocate General of the state, state ministers. The option of governor is false. Consider the following statements with respect to the jurisdiction of the Supreme Court of India. The correct option is option D. All three are correct. The Supreme Court has the discretion to grant special leave to appeal from a judgment or order of any non-military Indian court or tribunal. The Supreme Court may refuse to tender its advice on any question of law or fact of public importance as referred by the President. Supreme Court is not bound by its previous decision and can depart from it in the interest of justice or community welfare. Consider the following statements regarding First Movers Coalition FMC. The correct option is option C, both 1 and 2. It is a global initiative to decarbonize seven industrial sectors, and India recently participated in the First Movers Coalition leadership meeting of the World Economic Forum. Consider the following statements. The correct option is option B, 2 only. The jurisdictions of Munsif's court are determined by High Court's The subordinate judiciary has a strictly uniform organizational structure, nomenclature, and jurisdiction throughout India. It is false. Which of the following states are covered under the provisions of the Panchayat extension of the Scheduled Areas Act 14? C. 1, 2, and 3. Andhra Pradesh, Maharashtra, and Madhya Pradesh. Who among the following are appointed by the President on the advice of the Council of Ministers? The correct option is option A 1 and 2. Chairman and members of the Finance Commission, Chairman and members of the Election Commission, Attorney General and Solicitor India. It is false. Consider the following statement with reference to the leader of opposition LOP 16. The correct option is option A 2 and 3. The office of the LOP is a constitutional office. The leader of the largest opposition party having not less than one-tenth seats of the total strength of the house is recognized as the LOP in that house. The LOP is also entitled to the salary allowance and other facilities equivalent to that of cabinet minister. It is false. It is true. And the first one is the office is a constitutional. It is not a constitutional office at all. Consider the following statements with respect to the senior advocates in Supreme Court. The correct option is option A 1 and 2 only. These are the advocates who are designated as senior advocates by the Supreme Court of India or by any high court. They cannot appear in the Supreme Court without an advocate on record. Only senior advocate entitled to file any matter or document. It is false. Consider the following statements with reference to the composition of the Rajya Sabha. The correct option is option A. It is false. All states are given equal representation in the Rajya Sabha. The fourth schedule of the country deals with the allocation of seats of Rajya Sabha to the states and united. Who among the following can participate in the election of the members of Legislative Council of State? The correct option is option C 1, 2, 3, and 4. Members of municipalities of the state, graduate of 3 years standing and residing within the state, teachers of 3 years standing in a state not lower in a standard than made secondary school, members of the Legislative Assembly of the state. Consider the following statements regarding Metropolitan Planning Committee. The correct option is option C 1 and 3. The state legislature may make provisions for the composition of metropolitan planning committees. The chairperson of such committees shall forward the development plan to the state governments. Three-fourths of its members should elected by the elected members of the municipality and chairperson of the panchayat in the metropolitan area of amongst themselves. In which of the following cases governor cannot make an ordinance without the instructions from the president? The correct option is option D 1, 2, and 3. If a bill containing same provision would require the sanction of the president for introduction into the state legislature, if he would have deemed it necessary to reserve a bill containing the same provisions for the consideration of the president, if an act of the state legislature containing the same provisions would have been invalid without receiving the president's assent. With reference to the pardoning power of the president, consider the following statements. The correct option is option D 1, 2, and 3. Remission implies reducing the period of sentence without changing its character. Commutation denotes the substitution one form of punishment for a higher form. Respite denotes awarding a lesser sentence in place of one originally awarded due to some special reason. Which of the following are the constitutional safeguards for the independence of the Supreme Court? The correct option is option D 1, 2, 3, 4. Power to punish for its contempt, freedom to appoint its staff, ban on practice after retirement, its jurisdiction cannot be curtailed by the parliament. 24. B. Governor appoint the judges of the concerned state high court after consultation with the president. It is false. Appointment, posting, and promotion of district judges of state are made by the governor of the state in concern. It is true. With reference to the appointment of the chief minister, consider the following statements. The correct option is option D, neither one, two. According to Constitution, the person of his majority in the before it's upon. A person who is not a member of the state legislature cannot be appointed as the chief minister. It is also false. With reference to the consultative committees, consider the following statements. The correct option is option C. Both 1 and 2 are correct. These committees provide a forum for informal discussion between the ministers and members of parliament on policies and programs of the government. These committees are constituted by the Ministry of Parliamentary Affairs. Which of the following are the compulsory provision under 73rd Amendment? The correct option is option A 1, 2, 3. Three-tier system, constitution of Gram Sabha, reservation of seats for women, granting financial power to the panchayats, representation of MP in local bodies. With reference to municipal corporations, consider the following statements. The correct option is option D 1, 2, 3. The Council of Municipal Corporation is a legislative wing of the corporation consisting of both elected and nominated members. Mayor's main function is to preside over the meetings of the council. The municipal commissioner is the chief executive authority of the corporation. Consider the following statements with regard to the fast track courts in states. The correct option is option B 2 only. The judges of FTC are appointed on an ad hoc basis. FTC are established by the government in consultation with respective high courts. It is false. Without seeking the permission of the House, a member of state legislature can be absent from all its meetings for a maximum period of 60 days. Who among the following are included in the electoral college for the election of the President of India? The correct option is option B 2 and 3. The elected members of the legislative assemblies of the state, the elected members of the legislative assemblies of the union territories, the nominated members of both House of Parliament. It is false. Under which of the following special conditions the Parliament can legislate on subjects included in the state list? The correct option is option D. In the national interest backed by a resolution of the Rajya Sabha, when two or more states request the Parliament to implement in the international treaties and agreements, when a model code of conduct has been implemented due to state legislature ejections. It is false. With reference to the ordinance making powers of the government, consider the following statements. Correct option is option A 1 and 2. It is coextensive with the legislative power of the state legislature. It is not a discretionary power. An ordinance ceases to operate to the expiry of 6 months from the assembly of state. It is false. On the recommendation of which of the following committee, a permanent interstate council was set up under Article 260. The correct option is option C, Sarkaria Commission. Consider the following statement regarding the Chaudhary Rahmat Ali. The correct option is option A 1 only. He is credited with coining the term Pakistan. The Muslim League's Lahore session of 1940 advocated his idea creation of Pakistan. It is false. With reference to Gram Sabha, consider the following statements. The correct option is option B 2 only. It may exercise powers and perform functions at the village level as the legislature of a state determines. It is a village assembly consisting of all the eligible voters in the area of. It is false. Consider the following statements. The correct option is option C both 1 and 2. Transcriptome is a complete set of all RNA molecules in a cell that carry genetic information from DNA. RNA is a nucleic acid present in all living cells. Consider the following statements regarding pygatomes. The correct option is option A 1 and 2 only. Pygatomes represents a beautiful blend of Asaf Jah and Rajputani style of architecture. Pygas were the highest ranking nobles in the princely state of Hyderabad. Built of red marble, the captive visitor with inquisitive design. It is false. Which of the following countries recently genetically engineered a chestnut tree to restore forests in its region? The correct option is option A, United States. Consider the following statement with respect to the writ jurisdiction of high courts. The correct option is option C, both 1 and 2. Unlike the Supreme Court, high courts can issue writs for enforcement of even an ordinary legal right. writ jurisdiction is a part of the basic structure of the Constitution. With reference to the pardoning power of the governor given in Article 161, consider the following statements. The correct option is option B, 2 only. He can grant pardon to any person convicted of an offense against any will relating to a matter to which the executive power of state extends. He can pardon a distance. It is false. Consider the following statement with respect to the judges of the Supreme Court of India. The correct option is option C, both 1 and 2. A person who has been an advocate over 10 years in any high court can be appointed as the judge of the Supreme Court. The Constitution has not fixed the tenure as well as minimum age of a judge of the Supreme Court. Consider the following statements regarding the hypersonic technology demonstrated vehicles. The correct option is option B, 2 only. It uses atmospheric oxygen for propulsion. It is an unmanned demonstration aircraft powered by ramjet engine. It is false. Consider the following statement regarding the President of India. The correct option is option A, 1 only. He is eligible for re-election for any number of terms. He is entitled to such emoluments and privileges as may be determined by the Constitution itself. He is vested and with qualified and pocket veto powers. It is also false. Consider the following statements regarding the Fire Aid Initiative. The correct option is option C, both 1 and 2. It aims at using artificial intelligence to effectively manage wildfires. It is launched by the World Economic Forum. Which of the following functions are performed by the Chief Minister of a state? The correct option is option C, 3 only. He is the chairman of the State Planning Committee. He advises the governor with regard to the appointment of the Solicitor General. He heads the Interstate Council. With reference to the evolution of Panchayat Raj in India, arrange the following committees in chronological order. The correct option is option C, 1, 2, 4, 3. Ashok Mehta Committee, GVK Rao Committee, LM Singhvi Committee, Thungon Committee. Which of the following statements given below is not correct regarding the State Election Commission? The correct option is option D. It works under the overall supervision of Election Commission of India. Consider the following statement regarding the duration of the panchayats. The correct option is option C, 1 and 3 only. Panchayat at every level is provided with a 5-year term of office. A panchayat reconstituted after premature dissolution does not enjoy the full period of 5 years. A fresh election should be conducted every time a panchayat is prematurely dissolved. It is false. Consider the following. The correct option is option C. The President of India is an integral part of the Parliament. A bill passed by both houses of Parliament cannot become law without the President's attest. It is true. Consider the following statements regarding initiative on critical and emerging technologies. The correct option is option B, 2 only. It is led by Indian National Security Council Secretariat. The initiative has been launched by India and Russia to expand strategic partnership between two. It is false. According to the Constitution of India, the expression district judge includes which of the following judges? The correct option is option D, 1, 2, 3, 4. Additional district judge, joint district judge, chief judge of small cause court, chief president, magistrate, sessions judge. Consider the following statement with reference to Gram Nyayalas. The correct option is option D. Gram Nyayalas can try criminal cases where the alleged offense attract maximum. It is false. Gram Nyayalas are strictly bound by the rules of evidence provided. It is false. With reference to the governor of a state, consider the following statements. The correct option is option D, neither 1 and 2. He is entitled with such a monarchical privilege as determined by the president. It is false. When he is the governor of two or more states, the emoluments and allowances are shared by the states in such a proportion as determined by the parliament. It is also false. Consider the following statements. Correct option is D. The Election Commission of India is empowered to determine the manner in which Lok Sabha seats are allotted to each state. It is false. The 87th Amendment Act of 2003 provided for the delimitation of constitution on the basis of 1991. Consider the following statements. The correct option is option B, 2 only. If any question arises whether a matter falls within governor's discretion or not, decision of the governor shall be final. Every minister shall have the right to speak and vote in any committee of the state. It is false. Which of the following functions are provided to the panchayats under the 11th schedule of the Indian Constitution? The correct option is option D, all of the above. Agriculture, including agricultural extension, implementation of land reform, fisheries, small scale industries, technical training and vocational education. Which of the following committees was appointed to give a report on state funding of elections? The correct option is option D, Indrajit Gupta Committee. Consider the following statements regarding Aditya L1 mission. It is first observatory class space-based solar mission from India. The spacecraft will be placed in a halo orbit around the first Lagrange point L1 of the Sun-Earth system. It carries 7 payloads to observe the photosphere, chromosphere, and the corona. With reference, which of the following statements is not correct with respect to electoral bond scheme? The correct option is option B. It is false. The electoral bond can be used to making donation to outrageous political information furnished by the donor is treated confidential. Foreign companies has been making donation to political parties. The electoral bonds can be issued in the denomination of 1 crore. Consider the following statement regarding a protected area. The correct option is option B, Kaval Tiger Reserve. It is located in northern part of Telangana. The reserve is nestled with Sahyadri mountain ranges along the banks of Godavari. Geographically, the reserve is under the Indo-Malayan region with tiger and leopard as important species. Consider the following statement with regard to the Family Courts Act 1984. The correct option is option A, one only. It provides for the establishment of family court by the state governments in consultation with higher courts. Nobody shall argue to any higher court. It is false. Consider the following statements regarding Ottanthulal. The correct option is option D, neither 1 and 2. It is an ancient martial art form, Kerala famous for its harmonious synergy of arts. It is false. It is believed to have been developed in the forest by hunters observing the fighting techniques of animals. It is false. Consider the following statements regarding notified area committees. The option is 2 and 3. They are entirely nominated body. They are created for the administration of a fast growing town due to industrialization. They are statutory body created by act of it is false. Justice B and Sri Krishna committee was set up to review the institutionalization of the arbitration mechanism. This protected area is located in the Nicobar Islands. It is India's nesting site for giant leatherback turtles. Recently, the entire wildlife sanctuary was denotified to make way for international container transshipment port. The correct answer is option A, Galathea Bay Wildlife Sanctuary. Who administers the oath of office and secretary to the Council of Ministers? The correct option is President. Which of the following are elected by system of proportional representation by means of single transferable vote? The correct option is option C. 2, 3, 4 members of Rajya Sabha, members of State Legislature, Vice President of India. Consider the following statements regarding qualification of for a person to be chosen as a member of parliament. The correct option is option B. A person of scheduled caste or scheduled tribes can contest from a seat not reserved for them. Candidate contesting an election to the Rajya Sabha from a particular state should be an elector in that particular state. It is false. Which of the following are not a part of the original jurisdiction of the Supreme Court? The correct option is option C, 1, 3, and 4. Interstate water disputes, a dispute arising out of any pre-constitutional treaty, recovery of damage by state against the center, only one is correct, any dispute between two or more states. Consider the following statement regarding the Bharos. The correct option is option A, one only. It is an indigenous mobile operating system developed by IIT Madras. Bharos is based on Android open source project and includes all Google services. It is false. Which of the following bills lapses on the dissolution of Lok Sabha? The correct option is option A. A bill passed by the Lok Sabha but pending in the Rajya Sabha. A bill passed by both houses but pending in the Assent for the President. A bill pending in Rajya Sabha but not passed by Lok Sabha. It is false. Consider the following statement regarding the basmati rice. The correct option is option C, both 1 and 2. It is cultivated mostly in the Indian subcontinent. Recently, the Food Safety and Standards Authority of India has notified standards for basmati rice. Which of the following statements is correct regarding the cantonment board? The correct option is option D. The military officer commanding the station presides over the meetings of a cantonment board. With reference to the Prime Minister, consider the following statements. The correct option is option C. His term of office is not fixed and he holds office during the pleasure of the President. The oath of an incumbent Prime Minister automatically dissolves the Council of Ministers. Salary and allowances are determined by the President. It is false. In the context of virology, which of the following best describes reassortment? The correct option is option A. It is the formation of hybrid virus containing parts from the genomes of two distinct viruses. Who administer the oath of office to the governor of a state? The correct option is C. Chief Justice of the concerned state High Court. When does the model code of conduct for guidance of candidates and political parties comes into effect? The correct option is option A, immediately after the announcement of the schedule of elections. Consider the following statements with regard to the permanent lok adalats. The correct option is option C, both 1 and 2. Permanent lok adalats are established under the Legal Service Authorities Act 1980. The award of the permanent lok adalat is final and binding upon the parties. Consider the following statements with reference to parliamentary proceeding in India. The correct option is option A. The Attorney General of India has the right to speak and take part in the proceedings of either house of any joint sitting of Parliament. A minister who is not a member of either house cannot participate in the proceedings of any house. It is false. Consider the following statements regarding the recently established grievance appellate committees under IT Rules 2021. The correct option is option C, both 1 and 2. It has been set up by the governments to look into users' complaints against large social media companies. It is a digital platform that will operate only online. Which of the following statements is correct regarding China plus one strategy recently seen in the news? The correct option is option B. It is a strategic decision being taken by MNC to shift their supply chains outside of China. Mr. XIA wants to become a district judge. What is the minimum age prescribed in the constitution to set up so he become district judge? The correct option is option D. No minimum age is prescribed in the constitution. Consider the following statements regarding immune imprinting. The correct option is option A, 1 only. It is the body's tendency to repeat its immune response through previously encountered variant. T cells lymphocytes play a central role in this process. It is false. With reference to the money bill in the state legislature, consider the following statements. The correct option is option C. When the governor reserves the money bill for the consideration of the president, the governor's assent is no longer required. The governor cannot return a money bill for the reconsideration of the state legislature. Consider the following statement regarding the zonal councils. The correct option is option B. The Union Home Minister acts as the chairman of all zonal council. These are advisable that were created under provision of Article 260. It is false. There are 4 zonal councils in the total that covers all 28 states of India. It is false also. Consider the following statements. The facility of the proxy vote is provided to the service voter belonging to the armed forces. The facility of the postal ballot is provided to certain classes of people notified by the Election Commission. The correct option is option C. Both are correct. With reference to the vice president, consider the following statement. The correct option C. Both are correct. The electoral college for his election does not include the members of the state legislature assembly. A formal imprisonment is not required for his removal. Consider the following statement with reference to the 2 houses of the parliament. The correct option is option D. The constitution has fixed the term of office of members of the Rajya Sabha. It is false. Only the speaker of the Lok Sabha in the consultation with the central government can dissolve the Lok Sabha. It is also false. Arrange the following officials from higher to lower rank as per table of precedence. The correct option is option C 1324. Prime Minister, Governors of States, former presidents, cabinet ministers of the Union. Consider the following, consider with reference to Council of Ministers, consider the following statements. The correct option is option B, 2 and 3. There is no legal responsibility of a minister as per the constitution. It is the duty of every minister to stand by cabinet decision and support them both within and outside the parliament. They are collectively responsible to the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Consider the following statements about the Deputy Speaker of Lok Sabha. Whenever he is appointed as a member of parliamentary committee, he is automatically becomes its chairman. The date of his election fixed by the president is wrong. He is subordinate to the Speaker of Lok Sabha. It is also wrong. Both houses of parliament have separate committees of this kind. This committee regulates the program and timetable of the house. It allocates time for the transaction of legislative and other exercises brought before the House of Parliament. House of the by the government. The Lok Sabha committee consists of 15 members, including the Speaker as its chairman. In the Rajya Sabha, it has 11 members, including the chairman as its ex officio chairman. The correct option is option A, Business Advisory Committee. With reference to the councils of ministers, consider the following statements. The correct option is option B. President can appoint only those persons as ministers who are recommended by the prime ministers. A person who is not a member of either house cannot be. It is false. Consider the following statements. The correct option is option C, both 1 and 2. Anything that works as superconductor above 70 Kelvin is generally considered as high temperature superconductors. Solid mercury behaves as a superconductor below its threshold temperature, that is around minus 270 degrees Celsius. It is minus 203 degrees Celsius. The correct option is option C, 3 only. Which of the following statements are correct regarding appointment of the governor as provided in the Constitution of India? He should be completed at the age of 35. Is required to consultate? It is false. It is also false. In the context of Indian polity, consider the following statements. The correct option is option A, 1 and 2. The president is the chief spokesman of the union government. The president announces government policies on the floor of the house. The prime minister can be a member of any of the two houses of parliament. Yes, it is true. Both these are false. Which of the following acts as a parliament provides for the preparation of revision of electoral rolls for the purpose of elections of the correct option is option A, Preparation of People Act 1950. Consider the following statements regarding mutual legal assistance treaty in criminal matters. The correct option is option C, one only. They are the bilateral treaties between the countries that allow for exchange of evidence. The Ministry of External Affairs is the nodal ministry for providing mutual legal assistance in criminal law matters. If all CRPC does not mention arrangement with the foreign governments regarding service of judicial process in this regard. The, consider the following statement regarding World Economic Forum. The correct option C, both 1 and 2. It is non-governmental lobbying organization largely funded by global enterprises. It has been used for pivotal international diplomacy and even avoiding wars.